This book is called Lily's Purple Plastic Purse. It is by Kevin Henkes. So here we go. Lily loved school. I love school. She loved the pointy pencils. She loved the squeaky chalk. She loved the way her boots went clickety-clackety-click down the long, shiny hallway. She loved the privacy of her own desk. She loved the fish sticks and the chocolate milk every Friday in the lunchroom. And most of all, she loved her teacher, Mr. Slinger. Mr. Slinger was sharp as a tack. He wore artistic shirts. He wore glasses on a chain around his neck. He wore a different colored tie for each day of the week. "Wow," said Lily, and that was all she could say. Just wow. Instead of greeting students or good morning pupils, Mr. Slinger said, "Howdy." He thought that the desks in rows were old-fashioned and boring. "Don't you rodents think we could handle a semicircle?" He always provided the most tasty snacks, things that were curly and crunchy and cheesy. "I want to be a teacher when I grow up," said Lily. "Me too," said her friends, Chester and Wilson and Victor. At home, Lily pretended to be Mr. Slinger. "I am the teacher," she told baby brother Julius. "Listen up." Lily even wanted her own set of deluxe picture encyclopedias. "What's with Lily?" asked her mother. "I thought she wanted to be a surgeon or an ambulance driver or a diva," said her father. "It must be her new teacher, Mr. Slinger," said her mother. "Wow," said her father. That was just about all he could say. Wow. Whenever students had free time, they were permitted to go to the light bulb lab in the back of the classroom. They expressed their ideas creatively through drawing and writing. Lily went often because she had lots of ideas. She drew pictures of Mr. Slinger, and she wrote stories about him too. And during sharing time, Lily showed her creations to the entire class. "Wow," said Mr. Slinger. That was just about all he could say. Wow. When Mr. Slinger had bus duty, Lily stood in line, even though she did not ride the bus. Lily raised her hand more than anyone else in class, even if she did not know the answer. And she volunteered to stay after school and clap erasers. "I want to be a teacher when I grow up," said Lily. "Excellent choice," said Mr. Slinger. One Monday morning, Lily came to school especially happy because she had gone shopping with her Grammy over the weekend. Lily had a new pair of movie star sunglasses, complete with glittery diamonds and a chain, just like Mr. Slinger's. She had 3 shiny quarters. But, best of all, she had a brand new purple plastic purse that played a jaunty tune whenever it was opened. Lily wanted to show everyone. "Not now," said Mr. Slinger. "Listen to our story." But Lily had a hard time listening. Lily really wanted to show everyone. "Not now," said Mr. Slinger. "We have to be considerate of our classmates." Lily had a hard time being considerate. Lily really wanted to show everyone. "Not now," said Mr. Slinger. "Wait until recess or sharing time." But Lily could not wait. The glasses were so glittery, and the quarters were just so shiny, and the purse played such nice music, not to mention how excellent it was for storing her school supplies. "Look," Lily whispered fiercely. "Everyone look. Look at what I've got." And everyone looked, even Mr. Slinger, and he was not amused. "I'll just keep this at my desk until the end of the day," said Mr. Slinger. "They'll be safe there, and then you can take them home." Lily's stomach lurched. She felt like crying. Her glasses were gone. Her quarters were gone. Her purple plastic purse was gone. Lily longed for the purse all morning. She was even too sad to eat the snack Mr. Slinger served before recess. That afternoon, Lily went to the light bulb lab, and she was very sad. She thought and she thought and she thought, and then she became angry. She thought and she thought and she thought some more, and then she became furious. She thought and she thought and she thought a bit longer, and then she drew a picture of Mr. Slinger. I bet it's not a nice picture. Big, fat, mean, Mr. Stealing teacher. Claws, thief, bad, wanted by the FBI. Right before the last bell rang, Lily sneaked the drawing into Mr. Slinger's book bag. Uh-oh. It's bad if she drew it, but it's even worse if she gave it to him. When all the students were buttoned and zipped and snapped and tied and ready to go home, Mr. Slinger strolled over to Lily and gave her the purple plastic purse back. "It's a beautiful purse," said Mr. Slinger. "Your quarters are nice and jingly, and those glasses are absolutely fabulous. You can bring them back to school as long as you don't disturb the rest of the class." "I do not want to be a teacher when I grow up," said Lily, and she marched out of the classroom. On the way home, Lily opened the purse. Her glasses and quarters were inside, and so was a note from Mr. Slinger. It said, "Today was a difficult day. Tomorrow will be better." There was also a small bag of tasty snacks in her purse. Lily's stomach lurched, and she felt like crying. She felt simply awful. She ran all the way home and told her mother and father everything. Instead of watching her favorite cartoons, Lily decided to sit in the uncooperative chair. That night, Lily drew a new picture of Mr. Slinger and wrote a story about him too. Lily was really, really sorry, so everyone forgave her, even her parents and even her stinky baby brother, and especially her incredible teacher. And then the sun shined, its smiley face down on everything, even the bugs and the worms. The end. And look, she drew a nice picture too. Lily's mother wrote a note. Lily's father baked some tasty snacks for Lily to take to school the next day. "I think Mr. Slinger will understand," said Lily's mother. "I know he will," said Lily's father. The next morning, Lily got to school early. "These are for you," Lily said to Mr. Slinger, "because I'm really sorry." Mr. Slinger read the story, and he looked at the picture, and he read the note. He sampled the snacks. "Wow," said Mr. Slinger. That was just about all he could say. Wow. "What do you think we should do with this?" asked Mr. Slinger. "Could we just throw it away?" "Excellent idea." During sharing time, Lily demonstrated the many uses and unique qualities of the purple plastic purse, her shiny quarters, and her glittery movie star sunglasses. Then she did a little performance using them as props. "It's called interpretive dance," said Lily. Mr. Slinger joined in. "Wow," said the entire class. That was just about all they could say. Wow. Throughout the rest of the day, Lily's purple purse and quarters and sunglasses were tucked safely inside her desk. She picked at them often, but did not disturb a soul. Right before the last bell rang, Mr. Slinger served Lily's snacks to everyone with delight. "What do you want to be when you grow up?" asked Mr. Slinger. "A teacher," everyone responded, and Lily's response was the loudest. "Excellent choice," said Mr. Slinger. As the pupils filed out of the classroom, Lily held her purple plastic purse close to her heart. Mr. Slinger was right. This had been a better day. Lily ran and skipped and hopped and flew all the way home. She was so happy. And she really did want to be a teacher when she grew up. Oops. That is, when she didn't want to be a dancer or a surgeon or an ambulance driver or a diva or a pilot or a hairdresser or a scuba diver or... All right, so that was Lily's Purple Plastic Purse, and it's by Kevin Henkes. Now, guys, I'm going to say the same thing that I said at the end of Chrysanthemum. This book has an AR test, but it is a very hard AR test because this book is kind of a long book, isn't it? Yeah. So if you're going to take the AR test, I need you to watch this video 5 times, and I need you to make sure that you're ready. All right? Thank you for listening.